Hello and welcome to today's video. This is History with Natalie. I'm Natalie Broomer and today we're going to be talking about North and South Korea. If you like historical and biographical videos, then this is the place for you. You can start now by subscribing and clicking the bell for notifications. The Korean Peninsula was in fact one country until the end of World War II. History provides evidence of Korea being inhabited since the 7th century. In the late 1800s, China had a big influence over Korea, but in 1910, Japan annexed Korea as part of its empire until the end of World War II. The Japanese were said to consider themselves superior to the Koreans and treated them as second-class citizens. Korea was divided at the 38th parallel in August 1945 by two US colonels, Dean Rusk and Charles Bonesteel, the North being under Soviet control and the South being controlled by the US. However, no one asked the Koreans if they wanted their country divided. The US was afraid communism would spread throughout the peninsula. Both sides wanted to have Korea for themselves, but both sides eventually withdrew from Korea in the late 1940s. Both North and South Koreans didn't accept the border between them as permanent. On June 25, 1950, North Korea attacked the South, defeated them and captured Seoul. Now North Korea occupied the whole of the Korean peninsula except Busan in the south. The US and its allies gave support to South Korea and they pushed North Korea over the 38th parallel on September 15, 1950. They then moved into North Korea and captured Pyongyang in October 1950. In January 1951, China, who was supporting North Korea, retaliated and helped North Korea to capture Seoul. But in June of that year, South Korea and US pushed them back to the 38th parallel. Fighting continued until an armistice was signed on the 27th of July 1953. Then the demilitarized zone was set up. The official name of the country is the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. North Korea received a lot of support from China and the Soviet Union, but suffered financially from the collapse of the Soviet Union. This led to a food crisis and many people starved. Foreign aid was given, but the foreign aid workers were not allowed to distribute it, and so it was poorly allocated. Even today, the majority of the population are poor, with over 50% of the population having no electricity. Only the elites of the population are allowed to live in the capital, Pyongyang, with most of the food being given to the generals and the elites of the society. North Korean citizens have strict control on them, such as needing a permit to travel around their own country and registering their computers with the local police for regular checkups. North Koreans are regularly smuggled over the border by people smugglers into South Korea, who welcome them with open arms. It is also illegal in North Korea to say anything that goes against the government narrative. South Korea is a democratic country whose people have the freedom to travel wherever they want. They have a strong work ethic and have a reverence for education. There is virtually no crime, as there are cameras everywhere. They are also a very technological nation and have free Wi-Fi on their subway system. South Korea is an open society and they have a right to protest which is enshrined in law. South Korea has a high standard of living with values that are on a par with the West. The country has very successful industries such as electronics and automotive, with companies like Samsung being among the most successful electronic companies in the world. South Korean music, called K-pop, is a huge industry, made more so by the group BTS, who are one of the biggest acts in the world. Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we welcome any comments to help improve future videos.